In the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Ryan Aber. Ryan, we know now the Sooners will play their first playoff game on December 31st. It's a 3 p.m. kick. People got to work in this neighborhood, though, Ryan. I mean, come on, let's get serious here. Yes, it's New Year's Eve, but people still have jobs and lives, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. How is this going to work for folks?
Well, a lot of people are scrambling, especially today, Monday morning, to try to either get time off from their employers in the afternoon or figure out some other solutions. I talked to an optician in Guthrie who has 3 bosses who are all OSU fans. And she planned to absolutely plead with them to get it on the radio, to put it on the TV in the reception area, anything that she could do to try to keep up with OU football on New Year's Eve, because it's a strange dynamic this year. Well,
for sure. And the other game is at 7 o'clock, and I think a lot of OU folks were hopeful that OU would get the 3 spot just because you want that 3 seed, but it was likely to be that later game anyway. Now they're in that early position, and this is something that the college football playoff has been fairly adamant about, that they want to be on New Year's Eve, which in theory sounds fun and sort of quaint, but then when you find yourself in the middle of it, it's not that easy.
Yeah, last year, the first year of the college football playoff, they played the semifinals on New Year's Day. This year, they wanted to move to New Year's Eve to set a new dynamic in college football, that New Year's Eve is a day for football as well. And ESPN came to them before the season, or actually last winter, and said, hey, can we move this off for this 1 year? Because with the January 1st falling on a Friday, January 2nd is a Saturday, which would have seemed a perfect day for college football semifinals. But Bill Hancock and the folks over at the College Football Playoff said, no, we want to go ahead and get this established as quickly as possible. And that led to a little bit of hand-wringing among OU fans. Now, fans who are also big fans of the Thunder are happy about it, though, because the Thunder are playing at home on New Year's Eve against the Suns, and sort of what's become their traditional New Year's Eve game. So I talked to a guy who owns the Buffalo Wild Wings out on Northwest Expressway. He was absolutely pumped up about the game time because normally New Year's Eve isn't a big day for him, but now during the day it certainly will be with the Sooners playing.
You know, you mentioned Bill Hancock, and he obviously from Oklahoma. We've talked about him, talked to him, written about him, had him on video, all of those things a lot over the years. But he said that, you know, the first couple rounds of the NCAA basketball tournament, those are Thursday, Friday. People figure out a way to watch. Is that apples to apples, Ryan, or is it different with football?
It is a little bit different because that's all day, wall to wall, from 10 o'clock in the morning until the time you go to bed. And this is a little bit different because it's only 2 semifinal games, neither of them going head-to-head against each other. There's not the element of, you know, flipping around and finding the best matchup, things like that. I think in a lot of markets the ratings are going to go down a little bit because the people who aren't heavily invested in these teams or heavily invested in college football maybe not make that kind of effort. But fans here, OU fans, Sooner fans, are going to find a way to watch it, whether it's you know, having an earbud in as sly as they can at work or whatever the case may be.
Productivity may dip dramatically the afternoon.
On a day when productivity isn't very high anyway.
Exactly. It's just going to nosedive, folks. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com every day in the Oklahoman.